Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this is my first voiceover that I'll be doing. I got a lot of requests regarding it and try to explain what I do on specific bosses and like what spells I look to prioritize in order to keep my team up, and just overall explain what I do in dungeons. So this will be a 26 Shadowmoon on Tyrannical, Spiteful, Quaking. I believe it's the 5th or 6th week of Mythic Plus. Not sure, it's probably even like further than that, but yeah. I think this was the first 26 done by Resto Shaman. This key is not easy at all. Don't get fooled, especially on Tyrannical. This key is much easier on Fortified. On Tyrannical, the first boss and the last boss slap hard, and specifically the first boss, if you're not ready for it, as a Resto Shaman, it can easily be team wipe, and I'll explain that later. So let's continue with the video, or start rather. So yeah, here we shroud the first pool because it's Tyrannical, so might as well just go in shroud, skip this first spawn, and head to the first pack, which will have a spawn in it because we skipped the first one. So here I just pop my cooldowns, get Stormkeeper up, press AG. To top people up with the Stormkeeper, press Chain Lightning. It's a bit of a hectic pull, like because I have a lot to heal, to prioritize Master of the Elements. So I just quickly got my damage out as quickly as I could, and then when I had the time, I Lava Burst and then Flame Shock to get my my Master of the Elements buff. And then I proceeded to drop Healing Rain, and then same stuff, except with Chain Lightning. The reason why I said Lava Burst and then Flame Shock, because if you want to save your GCT, you can Lava Burst first, and then by the time Lava Burst is traveling to the target, you can Flame Shock, and it will still critical strike hit. But yeah, basically I just drop here Acid Rain for the Skitterlings. And I'll do the same thing for these ones. I hate pressing Acid Rain for these because obviously you want to go as fast as you can to the next pack, and it's annoying because as soon as you drop Acid Rain, the tank is ready to go on to the next pack. But that's very minor. It's just basically Acid Rain 101. You press it and the tank needs to guide at some point or just go on to the next pack. So yeah, it's a bit of an annoying spell. I go into this next pack, same stuff here, not a lot to say. I just spread my Flame Shocks, even with Primordial Wave, if I can, or if I can afford not to heal the tank a lot. Lava Burst, press Acid Rain on cooldown, and same stuff, and just spend the remainder of Master of the Element buff on Chain Lightning, since it's the second most powerful nature damage ability that I have access to when Acid Rain is on cooldown. And yeah, we kill this pack. And here we start the first boss. I'll pause the video for a second. This boss is a bit sketchy, and I'll explain why for now. At the end of the boss, specifically when she's at 40% something health, she starts doing the AoE randomly, and this is happening. I have no idea why. I track the AoE, as you can see on my nameplates. I have a 40-second timer on it, and I also have a countdown sound when it's 5 seconds about to happen. She does it consistently in the first phase, or rather the beginning of the boss encounter. For some reason, afterwards, when she starts facing below 50% health, she can completely ignore intermission or right after the ad, and she does it randomly. And if she does that, as a Resto Shaman playing with Cloudburst, you can, or like, if you don't have any cooldowns available, that can easily be a wipe if the team like doesn't have immunities available or super useful defenses like Astral Shift, Cloak, Health Pots, Rally, etc. So here I start the boss, we lost, and I just pump basically because there's no damage happening. She's gonna do the AoE soon. I got Master of the Elements, place a juicy healing rain down, press AG, Cloudburst, Stormkeeper, and just continue blasting because I have AG working with damage. And if I need, I just press Downpour because it's a really powerful AoE heal when everyone's stacked. We switch to the ad. And we pretty much kill it and go back to DPSing the boss. Now she does the intermission. We go into the runes to take 80% less damage from the AoE. And we go super low because of it, naturally. And then she does AoE. This one was a bit sketchy again because we got low from the intermission, but wasn't an issue as I managed to top people up. We go back to the ad, and not much to say about here. Here I try to sit in Ghost Wolf because everyone stopped up, and I get a nice a nice 20% TR. Now we get another AoE, and I start falling on healing, even though I was having high tide procs, but it was not enough to just manually cast them, so I just pop Ascendance. Even though sometimes Ascendance feels a bit annoying because it doesn't do smart healing. You pop it and you immediately have to start healing the group up with Healing Surge or Downpour or whatever else you have available. But yeah, I still have access to Spirit Link, as you can see, and my Astral Shift, so everything should be fine if we get a very shitty AoE. Okay, she does it here. I should be dropping Spirit Link. Yeah, I do. I Nature Swiftness Chain Heal during my High Tide procs, so that was a big group heal that I had. And I see that I have Ancestral Guidance in 7 seconds, so I'm gonna be saving it for the next AoE because it's a really powerful, I mean, if not the most powerful group heal if you pair it with another cooldown. But even then, AG with just manually healing the group up is very powerful. Then she does another AoE, I pop Ascendance, Ancestral Guidance, and I just manually heal people with Cloudburst, Riptides, and I think that was a Downpour if I'm not mistaken, but I might be wrong. We switch to the ad, pretty much again, same stuff. This boss is super long and tyrannical and very sketchy, as I said. Yeah. See, like, this is what happened, and I'll pause the video again. On the nameplates, it said that she would do the intermission, but she immediately did the AoE again. This is what I'm speaking of. I was not ready for this, because I read the nameplates, and I assumed, according to her spell queue, that she would do the intermission, so I was chilling, but actually she did immediately the AoE. This is what I'm speaking of. If you're not ready for this, this can easily be a team wipe if people don't have personal defensives available or health pots or etc. So she does it. Somehow I managed to heal. I think yeah. I didn't pot there because I didn't have one, but still managed to live. I hate this boss just because of this. And yeah, I managed to top the group here with the high tide, and hopefully someday we will kill the boss. She does another AoE. I don't have much available. I think, yeah, I drop Healing Tide, Riptides, Cloudburst, and I think because I was not expecting it, I dropped Cloudburst mid AoE, which is not ideal, but it is what it is. So, boss is almost dead. A 5-minute fight, by the way. Not enjoyable at all, but it is what it is. And we commit to the boss. Yeah, we ignore the ad. I cap totem it back there using my mouse over cap, and Mordrim, the Brewmaster, touch of death the boss. So now we proceed to the next pack and we go in. I have the Master of the Elements buff that I sadly used to heal, but it is what it is on high keys. Sometimes you cannot agree to use it for damage abilities and you just have to use it for healing, otherwise that would be troll if you let your team die because you want to greed for DPS. But yeah, I just go in, spread my Flame Shocks, Lava Burst. I only cast Lava Burst, well I don't cast them, I use them when I have Lava Surge up. And then I use them to buff Acid Rain, and same thing again. When I have Acid Rain on cooldown, or rather Healing Rain, I will spend it on Chain Lightning casts. Crit Cake dies here, unfortunately, to a melee, I think, from the ads. I don't know specifically how these ads work still. I think it's a bug. Something in regards to their the NPCs dominating casts. Honestly, even my group does not know how they still work after 2 months into the season or more. But yeah, I clear and I master S. We basically wait for the patrol here to be in the down area of the dungeon, so she doesn't spawn the mobs upstairs, and we only have to deal with 2 spirits. Usually I purge, but because we have an enhancement shaman in the group, I asked him to take purge, and so I could take something else more defensive wise for the key. And same stuff here. I spread my Flame Shocks, use my Lava Surge procs, buff my Healing Rain / Acid Rain, and Lightning Bolt / Chain Lightning. I go into the boss. I have a Master of the Elements buff. I use it to buff my Healing Rain, exactly. I had to stop there because Mordrim moved the boss. Chain Lightning, Lava Burst again. I have Master of the Elements again, Chain Lightning. I pot, and pretty much there is not much to say on this boss, so I will leave you guys to it. The only thing I want to say on this boss is the planner shift. If you are the only range in the group, it will bait on top of you, so just you can move out of it quickly so you don't take any damage. Just be ready for it and move out. So I'm gonna leave you guys to it, and I'll come back when I have something more important to say. This dungeon is overall about the first and last boss on Tyrannical at least, so yeah. And yeah, we kill the boss. Not much happening on this boss. I have Master of the Elements buff. I use it to buff my chain lightning with Stormkeeper actually. I primordial wave one add to get a flame shocked active, and then I manually flame shocked someone another mob rather. Same stuff, use my Lava Surge procs, and then to buff my Acid Rain, and the same stuff again, basically on AoE. If I don't have it available because it's on cooldown, I just use it to buff my chain lightnings, and back and forth, back and forth. Sadly, our rogue here in the group procs cheat death, I think again to an ad meleeing him, but it is what it is. We finished Spiteful, an annoying affix, obviously, everyone loves it. Not. And we move over to the next pack. I have Master of the Elements buff, but I doubt I'm gonna get use of it. Yeah, it runs out here. I just press Spiritwalker's Grace to get some damage going on while I grab the other pack, and I get Master of the Elements, and I just use it on Chain Lightning within my Stormkeeper. And I forgot to pot here because it was on cooldown when I started the pack, which I usually just pop it, but I must have forgotten about it. And same stuff here again. We move over to the next pack. And I swap my trinket to the tank because I think I swapped it to the Enhancement Shaman on first boss. And same stuff here again. I damage pot here for AoE, which is Shocking Disclosure. I had to pop Ascendance for Marjoram because he was getting beat up by the mobs, and I didn't have SLT available. And just basically same stuff here, spread my Flame Shocks, use my Lava Burst during Lava Surge procs to buff my Acid Rain, and again, if not available because on cooldown, I'll just spam Chain Lightning. Alright, well, now we're on to this boss, which some may know as to be the probably worst slash most boring boss of the whole Mythic Plus pool of Season 1. This boss has, for some reason, a stupidly large health pool. And as a result, because of how the boss works, he phases a lot. You're just literally hitting a target dummy for 6 to 5 minutes on Tyrannical. I kinda wish that Blizzard would rework this boss. In my opinion, you'll see here when he does the first suck, the two worms that you previously DPS'd from the trash bags come back up on the boss. In my opinion, what should be happening on this boss is when you kill the worms, each one of them should remove HP from the boss. But sadly it does not. For some reason I think someone here, or two people rather, got stunned from the Thundering Affix. Probably very bad miscommunication, and then I just so happened to see our crit, and Fabioso used Ank. But yeah, small note to add: when those two spawns, or rather adds spawn, you want to be very careful when using your defensive cities. You just tell the team to use them basically, and you pop your healing cooldowns, most likely because they will spit on random targets, and some people will get very unlucky and they will get hit twice by the ads, and if they are not using a defensive or a personal, they will get one shot most likely. So yeah, that's basically where I just pop Ascendance, because other than that, that's not really happening on this fight. As you can see, you just spawn a pull, which negates the dragon ability from the boss. You hit him for 6 minutes. This boss is horrible. It's super boring to deal with on Tyrannical, even on Fortified, I'm not gonna lie, but on Tyrannical this boss is amazingly boring. I don't think I've ever experienced a boss as bad as this. And this is pretty much the only thing you have to heal on this boss, is the AoE spit that he does before the suck-in. And other than that, I will leave you to the rest of the fight, and I'll come back when I have something more relevant to speak on. And finally, after a very long, almost 6-minute fight, we killed this boss. Yay! Anyway, we move on to the next pack. I try to save Stormkeeper here because I will need it for the next pack for Ancestral Guidance. So basically I just manually spread my Flame Shocks. I don't use Primordial Wave because I'm gonna need it for the spawns, and I just I lose a bit of damage here because I don't use Stormkeeper and other spells as aggressive as I can, but it's mostly because I need the healing for the next 2 spawns. So pretty much I switch the trinket to the squishiest person in the group, which in this case is my Enhancement Shaman. I also put Earth Shield on him because I'm playing Elemental Orbit, and I pop AG and Stormkeeper for this reason, because I top 2 people up, I mean the group up rather, by doing damage. I have Cloudburst opened, I drop Healing Rain, it expires so it tops people up, although I think it went into overhealing. I have Master of the Elements buff, I use it to buff Downpour. Riptide, Healing Surge, I manually top people up with Healing Surge. My Cloudburst expired, or I summoned it, I'm honestly not sure when watching the replay. I pop Ascendance and I Spirit Link, and I Chain Healed because I had a High Tide proc. Crit Cake eventually rallied here because I called it, and I go back to damage because we're pretty much safe, so there's not a lot to heal. I top some people up. Unfortunately Downpour only hit 3 people I think, so 2 people there were still half HP, but that's no issue. These spawns are only a problem on Fortified, not gonna lie. So we go to the last boss. This boss is actually quite tricky on Tyrannical. So because I'm the only range in the group, I will have the duty of baiting those swirlies, which are very deadly on Tyrannical, and as the key progresses, everyone starts rotting to the heavy AoE damage provided by the pool. But as long as you bait it far away from melee, they won't take a lot of damage from it. The only person that will be taking a lot of damage from it will be you, because as soon as the pool spawns, it does 1 tick instantly, and it deals more damage the closer you are to the pool. So here you see, I used Astral Shift, so I didn't take as much damage. Basically, for the first swirlies, I just put it on cooldown because I know I'm gonna need it for the last phase. This is a bit tricky to heal as a Resto Shaman because you are in ranged, and it's a bit tricky because of range issues, but other than that, it's just it's a bit annoying having to manually healing search people up, because sometimes 1 or 2 casts is not enough, and you kind of want to, if you have high tide procs, you just want to target the 1 person in melee and get that chain heal off. So here I go through the safe zone, I bait the next pull, and I take heavy damage here again. You have to make sure that you are close to full health when you are baiting them. Otherwise, if you are at 50% health, you will most likely die. Here I go in melee to clear my Thundering Debuff, and we are rotting here. This is what I was speaking of. I had to drop Healing Tide here because of all the running that I have to do in baiting, I start falling down on healing, and at some point I just need to stop. In here I said what I did previously. I basically targeted 1 person in melee because I wanted to chain heal to top everyone up with high tide, and same stuff. I go through, I just TPS because everyone stopped up, and I Astral Shift because 1 of the swirlies is about to spawn again. And this is pretty much the boss. It's just a matter of good bait and basically killing the wall in time. Otherwise, if someone gets the debuff, or if the wall doesn't die too fast, you will get a pull in melee, and that's a wipe. So you need to kill the wall as soon as possible, because he will do 2 of these Malevolence frontals, and by the time he's done those 2 casts, he will go back to casting the swirlies, and if that happens while the wall is still active for some reason because people didn't save CDs, it will spawn in the group and everyone will die, most likely. Same stuff here again. I'm in ranged, baiting the pulls, and I manually heal people from ranged. I don't really have the time to use Master of the Elements here aggressively for damage purposes, but here, as you can see, I had to ask for a rally and Earth Ally because the damage was beginning to be a bit intense, and I also had to drop Spirit Link there, but no issue whatsoever. We killed the ad, boss is finally dead. I think on this 26 I did 2 26s this week. This one was the least clean. Even the timer shows it. It's I think the other was with like 3 minutes left or 2, and this one was, yeah, I die here I think. Exactly, I didn't wall. I should have reacted faster, but because of that I committed a mistake and died. Luckily I had Ank available. If I didn't, that would be an issue, because the tank and the Enhancement Shaman actually are the ones able to combat rest with engineering, but then again you would have to go next to the swirly to go in melee and manually combat rest that person. But all is good. I go through the safe zone again, and again almost a 6-minute boss. In this case it was actually 5 minutes and 15 seconds it looks. And we finished the dungeon, yay! And there you go, 26 Shadowmoon Burial Grounds, Tyrannical. I wanted to quickly go over, because I think some people will ask. I was using the Primal Ritual Shell, even though on the first 26 Shadowmoon that I did this week I didn't use it. I went DPS Trinket and Broodkeeper's Promise. I decided to go Primal Ritual Shell just for safety, because surprisingly enough, as you can see by my buffs, I'm using the Earth Shield proc, which gives you an Absorb Shield randomly throughout the dungeon, which is worth 100,000. Even at a very low item level, which I think my trinket is at 379. It drops from rares in the Dragon Isles. I would recommend this trinket if you don't feel safe and you just want really like good survivability. I don't like when you have like these Omega World Quest, you know, buffed up trinkets, because it just feels bad to lose out on so much intellect. But because the shield is so good, I just took it for safety. And even you can see in my damage breakdown, or like my overall, which was 28.6k, wasn't even that high. I can usually, by default, do above. On Tyrannical weeks I'll do 30 something k easily, but I just went a bit more safe on healing and defensives, so that's why I lost a bit of DPS. But yeah, it was not the cleanest key, but it was the only one I managed to stream, because I did the other 26 off stream on the first day of the week, which was on Wednesday, I believe. But yeah, without any further ado, I think I'm gonna leave you guys here, rather, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comment section down below. Make sure to follow, subscribe, and I hope you are all having a nice day wherever you are in the world, and yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.